cloud-based model collaboration. And now you have seen quite a lot demos and things like that, so let's be simple. The value that what we have discussed today, the whole day. Of course, as you remember, the change orders, the collaboration between all the disciplines, this construction continuum, the accessibility, simplicity, life cycle. That was the whole idea, that the data has also a life cycle. And also, of course, we don't say that too often to local needs. The localization is the one issue. What has to be, you have to have a local language, local drawing rules, local model metadata, and that kind of thing, and local help for using the software and solutions. And of course, the transparency, that's what we have discussed a lot. That has been also difficult in Finland, this transparency, because lots of work is based on hour rates. You buy hours per designer and that kind of thing. So if it's very transparent, then you are afraid that the customer use that wrong way. And of course, the standards and these kind of things. So the BIM server and this collaboration platform, the Trimble Quadri is what we talk today. What is good in there, when everybody is in the same model, you have this integrated process. So everybody has to do with the same way things, with the same structure. And also all the terrain and GIS information is shared. So if someone finds out something or change the terrain model, everybody get the change. You don't have to copy and send files, for example. And of course the design information. In big projects you have several designers, and you don't have to have these kind of windows that you put the drawings and check if those are clashing. You can do it in the model. It's more efficient that way. And of course, in the corner you have these common rules and regulations, requirements to make that happen. But the most important thing, as you maybe remember in the beginning, that we have this common documented way to do this. So we have these requirements and naming rules and regulations. And I took something about this website that planning a model-based project, you have to plan how to plan. So, sounds weird, but very easy to do. And also this modeling extent and level of accuracy, because you have different type of information. You have this general information, large-scale maps and terrain models. Then you have very narrow and very detailed models, and to merge those, and you have to know where it's coming, who has done that, and what is the accuracy of that material. And of course the goals. We don't do the modeling because it's cool or fun. Even it's cool and fun, but it's also cost efficient. That's the case here. And of course the process description, the actors, cooperation, the data exchange between actors and schedule. So every model or every object what you model, there has to be reason and target and the schedule. If there is no one who needs that model, you shouldn't model that. You leave it away if it's not needed. Nice to know you shouldn't model those kind of things. And of course, model description document and list of content. So you should know what's in there and why it's there. Quality and cost management, quality assurance, and utilization principle of model different project phases. So that's actually the table of contents of requirements. How it looks, this is Finnish, but we have been showing so much Finnish today, so most of you already know how to read Finnish text. So as you see, it's very simple structural Excel sheet, for example. It's a table of contents and accuracy, and this is used in city of Turku, and the other one is used in city of Oulu. So the folders, how to name the folders, is it discipline folders like roads, bridge, or is it infra BIM name folders? So you can decide, or the owner can decide, based on how they use the data afterwards. Very simple documents, and all these templates are available in requirements. Here you can see the output data list with comments. So for example, over here, even I cannot see, it's a tray model, and it's delivered to Dave Designer, and source, it's transported agency, and the person who has delivered it's Mr. X, and what is the coordination system, and which format is that, and then some comments, for example, that it's delivered with the USB stick and stored to this database. But that kind of very simple things and very common way. Why to do this? I try to make a demo now, and it's not that good what Martin made, but hopefully you can see that. I have to change the screen. Okay. So I have here an all-point base. It's connected to the Quadri database, which is cloud-based. This is actually, I'm allowed to use only the viewer in our company. Martin can edit, but I don't have that kind of right anymore. I can tell that. Something. Yeah, it's a very nasty story. As you see, we have a structure over here in the left-hand side. It's a project name, and then we have raw data. So it means that we store all the raw data over here. And when you have the structure is the same what you have in this documentation, then you can check that all the raw data is documented. And if I show you in 3D how it looks, this is actually the city of Tampere material. So third largest city in Finland. Not that nice city like we have my hometown Turku. So now I can say, because there's no one from Tampere here. So it's like Finnish and Swedish discussion. As you see, it's quite the word what Martin said. So it's a lot of 2D, 3D material, and things like that. And this is basically, this data is now the server which is owned by client. So the client collects the data what they have. They can offer someone to make initial model, which means this initial model is you understand what this is. It's a base model where you clean all the 2D information and so on. So basically you share this information to all who is making tender, and they are able to use the material to make an initial model. How it looks when it's clean, it looks like this. So you have a city model where you have houses, you have boreholes, you have a city plan, and it looks a little bit nicer than this this one. So it might be much easier to start design with this material. And then you have also in Finland many cities and also governmental maps are you are able to use those. So we can take also orthophoto here, so it looks more detailed. So when you have the structure, it's very easy to show what you have. It's very easy to compare. If you want to see only, for example, that I want to see structures and constructions, I can just open and it shows that all the structural models are here. So you can piece by piece open the model and you can choose what you want to use. And of course, now you have initial model, you have some GIS information, and these are connected to the one model. Now you are able to share this data to designers, that please offer your design work. And when you have it like this, then you can say that if you know that there has to be some extra investigations, please include that to your offer. So you get better offers, and also if you are making the tender, you can also take a print screen, for example, and show that there is some mistakes in the model. If we go to the next phase, we take the design model, so which is ready over here. So as you see here, it's only design material. But of course you can also do like this, that you open this window where you have this data, and we just drag and drop the design model. So actually then you have a quite good visual model in there to show. So there are some mistakes. This is why I'm not able to edit anything anymore. So you can see that it's very open, the process, and if you ask now tender from a contractor that you should build this project, so the contractor can make his opinions and prices to these kind of things. And there is, in your right side, here is, we say, this Facebook for designers. So actually you can store data over here, that if you want to see something, and you can give comments and that kind of thing.
Commenting tool.
Comment to, yeah, tasks. But I must say that this roundabout, what Martin has done, I think you have also quite near that you will lose your user rights to this project. But when we discussed about that, how to get the IFC and land XML in the same place, actually this model, this roundabout, and this building, this is IFC model, this is land XML from Tekla Civil, this is native no point material, and as you see now, it's quite easy to go there. The only challenge maybe here is that this is LOD 4, so you have too much details for street designer. Actually, LOD 2 is good enough, that you have only the alternate geometry about this. LOD is level of details. So also you can have bridges over here. I shouldn't show because you are bridge designers, but we don't build this. This is only in demo purposes. Don't worry. So you can add those also. This is done with the no point bridge, which is very just for scheduling, not for real design. For our customers, how they use this data. They use this database as a storage place. They use this for sharing the data between different designers or contractors. They are also able to ask tenders that the road designer or street designer makes own offer, and water and sewer designer makes an own offer. But those designers can use the both data online all the time. So you can also split in that sentence. Also, they are using, we have here presentations, so you can make a presentations, for example, that those are ready-made. When normally I make a demo, our guys are making ready-made presentations. For me, I just show certain layouts which is ready-made, that I shouldn't do it myself because it takes too much time. But here you can see that if there's under discussion some design part, for example, like this intersection, then you can just concentrate to that and you make a presentation, and the designer and the client can have a discussion without meeting each other.
So it's like your filter of use.
Yes, and then you can make notes to that. So it helps to comment, and what we have seen now, when you comment in 3D, then everybody understands it's more clear than you comment to 2D drawings. Also, you get all these comments can be printed out as a PDF. You can also change the status and priority and these kind of things. And also, you are able to do this in web. So we have this connect, and then we have this easy access. And the easy access is similar as a connect, so we prefer the connect in that sentence, because then you can be more, you can add more richer data there, like Martin told, that you can put all the PDFs and Words and Excels and things like that. So it's like a project bank. So now what we say that you are able to build up an environment which is fully digital, and you are able to sign, and you are able to discuss, communicate, very open, and you can keep your schedule and make a very high quality design work in the same time. And as Martin said, we have online and offline, so it's also here you are able to make it offline. So you can just grab it with you, and then you just click over here that you can ask, is there any new information? And then it connects to the server and search all the changes between when you have last time loaded the data. This makes possible that you are able to make a digitally fixed version. The model is for the client, it's always important that when they give something out, it's the same version. With all contractors has the same version when they calculate volumes, for example. So this helps that you can lock the version, for example, or deliver just the packages, which helps a lot. Okay. Maybe the most important thing.
Just to be more clear, which software is about this software is to like server of everything.
Yes.
Who is owner of this software? What is your practice? It's
practice. We prefer
road contractor or what?
Yeah, road administration or city or municipality has their own server. There are now different ways in Finland, but for example, if client has the server, they pay all the cost about that, but also they get the data. There has been very long discussions about who owns the data, and then it's very clear when the server is a client server. Owner's server.
So it's state.
Yeah, state, city, municipality.
I want to expand the question. The software itself is not a database. What kind of database?
It's Oracle.
Oracle.
Yeah. And the user interface is what you see here is a base, or this is a viewer.
It's a viewer.
Yeah, this viewer is free. You only have to have a right to use the server. but that's the client's permission then to give user rights there. And when you are designer, then you get the edit version. Then it's the base, what Martin showed.
So, and for project, on the project scope, so just we can use Trimble Connect for project data.
Yeah, it's a project bank and it's a files, how to say, file-based in that sentence that you deliver files from the native to there. But we have in Finland, for example, small cities and municipalities, they buy server per project. For example, we host servers, and if you want to buy server for the project pays the server payments, and we host that the environment is there. And when the project starts and stops, we start the server, and when it stops, we stop the server. So it's pure service model also in there, possibility.
It's like a rent, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So we don't sell software anymore. It's a rental. Yeah. Or we call term. It's called term in Trimble.
So now it's any questions for everyone? Just please.
In the context of digitalization, there are growing concerns regarding the cybersecurity and security of infrastructure, and some people are saying that BIM is the weakest link in the transport infrastructure in terms of security. So how do you ensure the data security, data protection, that the data will not be accessed by appropriate persons, vulnerable, sensitive information and critical protection?
Yeah, you're right there. Absolutely right. The data what we do in infrastructure, for example, water lines and sewers and electricity cables, it's very sensitive information. How these server areas are made. For example, what we always say to our customers, they have a private cloud. You are able to make a private cloud. So basically it's only in your own environment there. And then we have this commercial cloud, what we, for example, offer. Those in Finland, or I can only speak about our company's services. In Finland we have this highest, highest rate of security areas where we put our servers, and there is a service provider who guarantees this for us and to the customer. The price level could be very low in these kind of services, but then the security level varies a lot. So we are in that level. But that's a good question, and are we weakest? Might be true. The BIM models, if it's offline, I leave my laptop over here and all the maps are there, so there we are. Good question. Nasty. Good. From Vianova, we want to thank you that you are so many here. Very good questions, very nice to see you all here.